if I die tomorrow. I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
It's Tuesday night fight night. What's up?
Hello.
You go.
How are
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Jesus, it's not late. It's fashionably on time.
Listen, bro.
Mike is here early.
First, yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe that's why you say
so
he's
proud
late.
of you.
Mike, maybe that's why he say it late because he got here after Mike. Oh.
Anyone who
my
comes
small
in
hat.
later than Mike is definitely late.
Where's Tom?
Toad
I
is
don't
in
know-
California.
I don't know if he's gonna make it.
Come and join us tonight. Yeah.
It's a maybe. He might just Batman his way in there. I know.
Maybe in the comments.
That's a pathetic cry.
Snot bubble and all.
Our breaks. It's Tone is in California right now. He is at for a work event, so he left yesterday, and so everybody's traveling.
I literally hop a flight tomorrow.
Yes. I should be traveling in a couple more weeks as well.
Hey,
So that'll be cool.
Hey, the travel bug kicks in. Well, it's the holiday season.
The slander.
Thank you.
Listen,
no, we love you, Mike. We love you, Mike.
All
There's
love
no
and
slander.
truth.
Stop
for
being
those who don't know,
sensitive.
for those who don't
Thank
know,
you.
Mike, he
Yes,
is at the
welcome
four-letter
back.
word. Welcome back. Yes, we missed you for 2 weeks, 3 weeks because we weren't on last week.
Yeah.
I'm glad I
been a
kind of
minute.
didn't. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of horror movies. I would not have had anything to contribute that episode.
She contributed to the comments, so that was more than anything.
Yeah. It would have been difficult for me.
So I had fun last week. I still so for those who didn't see, I was on the 4-letter nerd last week, and we had fun talking about stuff. I think we talked about we talked about some fun stuff last week. It is on the channel. It's on their channel. You can watch it on demand, but you could catch them at 8 every night on Wednesday.
To the slander you give, Mike.
Yes,
Preach,
love
you
it.
go.
I love it.
So, how was your guys' Halloween?
Whack. I genuinely didn't do anything.
Sick.
So, the plan originally was I was going to go to Six Flags, but Six Flags, they didn't have the park open for the whole day. They only had the event for Fright Fest, but that was only from I think it was 6 to 10 o'clock or 5 to 10. It was something mad short, and it cost $85 for just that. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Miss me with that. So then I was gonna take my homegirl with me to go to the parade, and then she was like, "Oh man," and I was just like, "Let me know." Day of, nothing. I was all right. So in my head, I'm like, "Yo, I should just throw on shit and go down there." But then I was like, I don't feel like doing nothing solo. Why? Well, I ended up just binging shows. I think I watched and finished what was this show? The Fall of the House of Usher. One of the best shows I've watched in a long time. Okay. But I ended up just staying home, and I was so mad because I saw literally that night and the next morning that my cousin and my little cousin went down, and I was like, I could have went to the parade and caught y'all, man. Oh, I should have went.
Next time, just go with your gut. Who cares who's not going?
Yeah.
I was sorry you're sick. You were me this year because I had COVID for Halloween last year. I couldn't enjoy it, so it's that's glad you're feeling better.
I remember, yeah, that was rough.
Yeah,
we put out a call. I put out a call on social media for people to send us their costumes, so we did get some.
Yes, I saw. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, obviously that's me.
As the submission for Seabass doing the Dread Doctor.
It's a plague doctor. So that's the top hat that came with the costume. I didn't like it. I ended up getting another top hat that was so much better. So it was funny because this was the first year we really handed out candy. We got because there's not a lot of kids in my neighborhood. So we were actually the house that had the full candy bars, and the kids were just excited, like, "You're giving whole candy bars?" One guy's like, "Oh, y'all the rich." I was like, "Nah, bro, you don't know." My costume, it's funny. I scared the parents, and I had kids coming up like, "Dude, do they make that in a kid size? I want one." Literally, that's awesome. Kids loved my outfit.
You love that.
Yeah, it was fun. We got a great submission from over here. Wait, come on, that's not working. Yes.
Yo, I saw that come in and I was so hyped. That looks so
nice.
good.
That is so nice.
We don't eventually you're gonna get here, but yo, looks so fucking good.
I wonder if she did the dance. That would have been creepy.
Yo,
if you did the dance, Aurelius, I definitely want to see the recording.
I thought that was cool. Then we got Cheyenne over here. She did. I think this was She was actually dressed as this.
Oh yeah.
Halloween episode. So for those who don't know, Shy does a lot of cosplay.
Yes, this is Yor from Spy Family, but like a witchy twist. I love it.
And then finally,
speak of,
hey,
good timing.
And then last on the list, Ari was going to Edgar Allan
Yo,
Poe.
that looks so fucking good. I saw the full drip on Facebook.
Yes.
Ari, that looks so good, bro.
I wanted him to send us the full drip, but he sent this, and I was like, all right, I got
Listen, I can't be mad. I can't be mad because even like the coat, he's got it, man. He's got it.
But yeah, it was great with pulling out these submissions and everything. So I mean, I think that was fun. I mean, this year for our holiday episode, what I want people to do, and I'll put it out on social media too. So the holidays are coming up. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas, so geek related family, like for example, like the Skywalkers. How do you think their Christmas is going to be? And maybe we'll share it on air. So let us know. Pick your geek family. It could be an Avenger thing and all that. Pick your favorite geek family and just let us know in the comments, and we'll probably post one.
Like personally, I want, like, if y'all are down to share them, like if your family has like a cool tradition, like you guys all wear like onesies, or you guys all wear like certain like pajamas for Christmas, or you guys all have like the Thanksgiving drip, like, you know what I'm talking about. You look like your Sunday best on Thanksgiving, and that's the tradition. I want to see those.
You just named every Puerto Rican family. I don't know.
Listen,
we all do that.
Yo, nah, you want to see the call out?
Onesies, but we definitely got fresh new pajamas for Christmas Eve.
Let me talk to you about my sister and how she called me out, because as soon as Halloween ends, what do? They try to put on Christmas music, and every year is like, I will not stand for this, because we will not skip Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So
Thanksgiving incorporates Christmas. You can still do Christmas music for Thanksgiving.
Mariah Carey can still be on fucking ice until Black Friday. Like, no. I don't want to hear it. Like, so either which way. So there was a video of someone going, like, this is what I look like on like every day out the year, whatever the case is. And then Thanksgiving, and it was a picture of Keith Lee with like a full like Sunday fit, like modeling GQ pose. And it was like Thanksgiving Day, and I was like, and she was like, this is law. And I was like, you're not wrong. Gonna need you to lower your voice though. Like, well, guys, I don't need the call out.
Well, guys, it's also coquito season, so
yes,
go to your coquito spot.
No me gusta. No me gusta.
Hey, listen, I know someone who, I don't know, someone who used to go to elementary school with. They always, every year, post that they make Henny Coquito.
No,
I know a few people who's done Henny Coquito.
Vaz was like, give me the Henny straight.
Yeah, I know me gusta. I'm not a big fan of cocoa.
Thanksgiving drip, the cranberry sauce on my seasoning.
Greens, beans, tomatoes.
Someone said, we need a Thanksgiving song. And I was like, that's the anthem. That green, that is the anthem for the last however many years.
Right.
My actual tradition is whenever I see one of my cousins for Thanksgiving, if I happen to run into her, this is the same one I would have seen if I gone to the parade. Me and her, since Thanksgiving with Black family, like on Twitter, became a thing. Every Thanksgiving we crack open Twitter, we go, all right, what's it this year? And the memes are just so good.
Really?
Every year we're just crying, laughing, sending shit to each other.
So what do you do now that Twitter doesn't exist?
Twitter in
you want to go to your Black X
thing could kind of exist. I don't know.
It's just it's funny that
I'll probably find. Yeah, I was gonna say probably TikTok.
Okay.
I'll find something. I'll find something, because there ain't no way that like the Black internet will like let me down.
Well, Instagram threads.
Nobody uses that. Black Thanksgiving on Twitter is hilarious. Absolutely.
And it's Black X now. That's all it's going to be this year.
Alice's Restaurant Massacre original revisit the Thanksgiving anthem. I don't know what that is, but I feel like I should, and I don't know why. Is it the Tea Party? Alice's Restaurant Massacre. Are we talking like Alice in Wonderland?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
There's so many Alice.
Black Twitter never fails. Absolutely. Without fail.
Hugo's gonna have to clarify that one. Alice Restaurant.
Arlo Guthrie. Hold on. You guys continue the conversation. I'm gonna look this up.
So in the nerds news, because there's some fun stuff, because again, if you guys want announcements, go right into the comments. Everything there that we announce is there. But we figure we'll use this time to talk about what's been trending on the nerds news, and Marvel has been trending a lot these last few weeks.
Wait a minute, pause. Are you skipping announcements?
We know that. Get into the news. We want to talk about some content.
I don't know if I like that. I like making fun of you to do the announcements. So I mean, let us all act like we don't care when you really need to do them anyway, and then move into the other
might
stuff.
Be a white folks thing. You know what? I'll give my opinion once I finish listening to it.
No, but I really want to jump into the whole Marvel thing, because there's just been a lot of stuff coming out the whole Marvel. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it, where the whole thing were the rumors. I know we said that we didn't want to jump into the rumors, but there are talks that they said they want to try to bring the original back.
Let me pause for a second. Did you just say, I know we said we want to don't get into the rumors, but we're going to do it anyway?
I'm going to get into it, yeah.
Because I don't know anything of what you're referring to. I have not been involved in the rumors.
I thought this said, y'all ain't law, and I was like, what did I have to do with this?
Y'all ain't law, sir.
Tone goes on vacation. Now Seabass wants to change stuff. Seabass changed
you
stuff.
Ain't low, sir. I don't know why Seabass tries to change stuff up without
hold on.
anyone.
Here's what happened. Because 2 weeks ago,
I was not gone that far long.
It happened when you were gone. I promise you it happened in the few weeks that you were gone. He was like, yo, we're just going to skip announcements. Y'all know where to look for the links and shit. And me and Tone just looked at him like, bro, you can do announcements. And he was just like, oh, I guess whatever, And we were just like, what?
No. I'm not on board with that.
Fine. You want announcements? I'll give you announcements.
Listen,
do what we do. What the hell?
I love you guys. Where is it?
The whole point of announcements is for us to hate it, and you do it anyway. Like, that's the concept.
Oh, damn. So we'll go with the first thing. Announcements. They're back.
The bad transition. We're missing the bad transition. We don't get to make fun of you about it. I mean, you're taking away from the tradition.
I got hit by the holiday chancla.
Yeah, like, you know what it is? He don't want to get picked on no more because of announcements. But that's become such a staple. That's become such a staple of the show that even the audience wants it.
Listen,
I paid my $1. I want my announcements.
The entire show is a running joke. I mean, we have a whole list of names that are going to mess up and keep messing up. It's going to keep growing. It's going to be a whole book. Pong's going to have a bestseller one day. So make sure you guys are supporting Law over there, his Twitch channel, Law subscriptions. Make sure you guys are going over there, get his pew action. Maybe we'll get a holiday special, holiday game special.
Some Twitch within the next few weeks. I'm going to try and attempt to start streaming again. I have no guarantees because I don't know still what the issue is. I don't know if it's particularly my internet, if it's my rig, if I have to get a whole new setup kind of deal. So we'll test and see, but it'll be sometime after Thanksgiving and after like holiday season.
Next on the list is TV. Wow, what's going on in TV land?
It's a great question.
That's a great question. We love that.
Because at this point, like, it's well, you guys know I've had some transitions and then I was sick, so we haven't been airing the last couple of weeks. I plan on doing something this week. I haven't spoken to the ladies about what I'd like to talk about, but I want to visit this new trend that's been going on with the lists of things not to do on a date, and everyone having an input about where not to take a female, and like I wanted to have a conversation about that.
They came up
that
with
shit. That shit is wild.
They said that the first dates are no
First of all,
longer
Cheesecake Factory is a date. I don't care what nobody says. I'm happy with that.
Cheesecake Factory is not only a date; it is a first date. You are not taking someone
beautiful.
to like
It's so great.
So
I don't know
food.
First of all, I don't understand what anyone's problem is. So, with that said, that's one of the conversations that I want to have on the TV screen. So we'll see. I'm gonna talk with the girls. If it's not this week, it'll definitely be next week.
Yo, I want to be part of that conversation. That's a fun conversation. Next on the list. Next on the list is make sure you check it in Concrete Combat. The next issue is coming out. Got the letters in, fresh off that presses, as well as I'm working on a comic called Dungeon Runners. So if you're keeping up with my Patreon, you have seen some of the preview pages of Dungeon Runners, which is going to be submitted in for the next We Suck at Comics anthology because part 2 is coming out. Submissions are still in, open to November 17th, but you could get volume 1 over there at waywardraven.com. We Suck at Comics is the anthology. It's about 300 pages, multiple stories in there, and there's a volume 2 is coming out soon. So follow Wayward Raven. Medusa's Cascade.
Hold on, I'm gonna slide in there real quick because Mike is coming in hot today. Is there someone else? Are you cheating on us, Seabass? Why do you keep pronouncing it lol and not law? I didn't even catch it, so good on you for catching it. He's not. You go. You fact checked before. If you would be so kind as to go back, scrub, and check it out. Maybe you can figure it out for us. The men have answered back.
Yes, I know. There has been
date. Yes, I'm here for that.
I've seen the list, and that's another thing that y'all sound a little hurt about the first list, but there was a response to that.
That is the equivalent of no scrubs getting a no pigeon song.
No, hold on. There was also a response to that list of the men you shouldn't date. So it's been an interesting list.
Take me anywhere, yo. You go nose.
Anywhere.
I had to get third base for sure. This is a hot mess. Yo, absolutely.
It is a hot mess, and I think they're asking the wrong people. Is what it is. It's just stupid.
So the crazy one was that there was one that was traveling around that there was this chick that was like, "You can't go on a date with me unless you make a $500 deposit."
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I
don't know any woman whose pussy is made of gold, so I don't see that ever happening. I'm sorry.
Snaps.
Yes, absolutely.
What also deserves snaps is Medusa Cascade podcast. Make sure you guys Medusa. I don't know. The list has messed me up.
So I'll jump in for Medusa's Cascade. The Medusa's Cascade Collateral Damage podcast. We have a new episode dropping on Saturday. Please go check out the website and the social media. The social media is being updated as we get more stuff out there. But the website looks absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. Go check it out. We have all new art and a whole new layouts. We have character art sheets. We have world art. It's ridiculous in there. So go do yourself a favor. Go check it out. And we are almost caught up. So if you guys are listening to the arc episodes, you guys are almost 1 or 2 arcs away from being caught up completely with the series.
Nice.
Make sure you check it out. Lou's album, The Moto's been out. He actually put out a new video on YouTube, so make sure you're
that's been getting traction.
Yes, last time I checked, it had over 2K views, and it's been getting up there. And it's just fire track. I'll go back and see if I can find the link for all you guys to go check out the video. Make sure you're catching our homies catch the Craze over there.
Where's Pong? Because holy crap, that's
yo. I don't even know if that was worth it.
Comic homies. Comic homies. There you go. Comic homies. I'm making it.
Yeah, don't
right there. Too late. I saved myself. New World Order.
That didn't save it.
What?
That didn't save it.
Oh
but
man, I did it. I'm gonna make it work. Guinness book. Make sure you catch the Craze. They go on at 8 a.m. p.m. before our show. Over there with George and Sam. So make sure you guys are there. Checking them out. Make sure you're also checking out Pong, who has been keeping the list. Who's probably gonna go back to this episode and say, "What the fuck have you been mispronouncing so much?" But make sure you catch him over there at the Sim Shop every Monday and Fridays. And also too, Mike is in the comics. Catch him on the 4-Letter Nerd every Wednesday at 8. Over there with Kat. Over there with Reg. And over there with Big Booty Burgie. There you go.
Yes. First of all, I have to say that was great. Stick to the announcements. Deal with our bullshit talking.
I mean, at this point, it's a given. It's like taking away a staple part of the show.
Look, I don't like this new things that you're trying.
Listen, Apple.
Val don't like change.
Listen,
I don't.
Yo, I don't know about y'all, but you can feed me. I'm good. Give me good food, absolutely.
Yes, Jen, absolutely.
That's it.
Right.
That's
Don't listen to these bougie girls.
Company.
Listen, but not
She's-
Five I know some women have you do that in case they waste their time. Fuck out of here while dating.
Listen. Can I get that as a
Yeah,
tax writer?
Comey.
Yeah, Comey.
Yeah.
Hanging with the Comey.
Facade?
What was Facade?
I don't
Did
know.
I miss that one? Was that from last week?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, see, my son drunk with power after people clamor for the announcement. The people are not.
The people are now reconsidering.
Yeah, I asked for it. There
What's
you go.
going on, George?
Hi.
George, what up? Let's give George a big shout out.
Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah. I okay, I hurt myself. No, Marvel's been in the news a lot with this recent meeting that they said they had, pretty much talking about what they're looking to do in the future, some restructuring. We've already heard that the writers for Daredevil, the head writers, they fired them. They're redoing everything because they didn't like what was being produced.
Oh, this was him. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
it
was.
was.
It was? Was it
Yes.
Facade?
So,
I'm writing it down for Pong.
Facade out of here.
I thought I sent it to him. He might have written it down, but write it again.
Okay. All
Facade
right.
out of here.
He was reading the title of her book and said facade instead of facade.
Oh,
I gotta
God.
mess up somewhere. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
I know
called
shy
English.
drinks now.
You know, it's called English, Seabass. It's okay.
I speak
Don't
broken English. That's about it. No, so yeah, so
What's funny about those, like we'll call them rumors because, like, while yes, they could have met and talked about anything, we don't know exactly what they're talking about. But we've had enough people going, "Oh, they're gonna come in and give us the original cast," and everyone's like, "We want the original cast." Like, no, that's not the formula. That's not it. Because if you brought back the original cast, all of what Endgame was for nothing.
Mhm.
Like you completely like devalue the impact that Endgame has. The biggest thing right now is
I wouldn't mind Foggy though. I like this guy, that actor as Foggy. I don't care for much for the girl from the other girl though.
yeah,
they're so they
they're
fired the
rebooting
writers
so many
because
things.
so apparently what happened was this is that the writer strike executives because the way they were doing things and
Wait,
releasing
you're gonna have to
stuff.
start.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to
your
start
head's-
from. Yeah, your headset did a thing. Hey,
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So the writer strike has started this all because now it's given them time to actually review their stuff because ever since the last guy before Bob Iger came back, Disney Plus was churning out content.
Iger?
Yeah, before Iger came back, because you got the other guy, Bob Chapelwadsky, his name is, whatever his name is. And Disney Plus, if you remember, they were just pushing out a lot of content, and Marvel was pushing out a lot of content. So they've had time to review the Daredevil show, and they were like, I don't think it was until the 8th episode he was going to suit up. And they were like, we can't have a Daredevil when people are going to wait 8 episodes. Like, no, we have to. And so that shook them.
In the third season or whatever the last season, it was the third season, right? For Daredevil, he spent the first 3 episodes in the basement recovering. So like, it's not a big stretch, but yes, 8 episodes is a big stretch. But just to have him be Lawyer Matt.
Lawyer Matt is a bad thing also because that's part of his persona as well.
Right.
8 episodes is a stretch. I will agree with that.
Exactly.
However, I think Matt Murdock is just as important as Daredevil.
Yeah. I think that's what they are going for, but they were like it focused too much on the law aspect, and what they were fearing is that since they're coming to reboot this show after doing the Netflix run, they're like, okay, we have to make sure it's either as good as the Netflix show or better. And so, yeah, after doing that, announcing that's what they did with Daredevil because they're keeping the same actors.
We don't know. All of this is speculation, correct?
No, this is real. That's
so then
confirmed.
why would you start the statement with rumors?
Well, the rumors.
Okay, let me clarify
Thank you.
the
I
the
need
the the,
English.
the word of thought train that is going on with Seabass. So a lot of this is spawning from people sat down and they're like redoing a lot of the stuff with like planning the Disney shows. They are axing stuff like Wonder Man. They're redoing completely the Daredevil show. And it all comes into question like where are they moving forward? We're gonna eventually thinking of shifting from having Kang and going to Doctor Doom, like all these things happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Doctor Doom stuff was about the whole trial right now.
Right.
They
So
don't know
so
where Majors is
this
going to
is
be at.
this is
We know.
essentially where Seabass is going with. There, what I was talking about before was people were so upset about phase 4, phase 5 kind of. Right now it's such a divisive thing of we like Loki. Personally, I think Loki has the entire phase 5 and phase 4 on its back, like because it's so good. But that's neither here nor there. And then there's people who hate it and they're like, yo, it's still the garbage that we've been getting up from
What? See, I feel okay.
people.
I'll,
But
I'll,
People are still like they're literally like, oh, you had
why did
the
it? Because they
first
don't
3
understand
phases
it.
and then it
They're
tanked.
dumb.
But
so
no, it's because we've been given a formula for not 20 years, but like
I think it's so they've been doing a format, and I think it's more of they're just certain factors, and this is just my opinion, and then lay it out. So it was confirmed that after Endgame, after Infinity War, and all that, that the lead actors that were going to carry it on his back was going to be Chadwick Boseman, Brie Larson, and Tom Holland. Now we all know, rest in peace, Chad. Obviously, they couldn't that change their
Bree
plans
is
with
not an
Black Panther.
option.
Brie,
Disney does not want. They don't want Brie after the Miss Marvel. They don't want her to be the leading role. They don't even
so
like the girl.
and then right now Tom
which is
Holland,
wild because she loves the character and
yeah.
like people love her
Bree
in
is
that
a
role.
dick.
Really?
That's what everybody's saying. That she's a dick.
And then the other thing is that
Mm,
That's what I read.
we don't know where Tom Holland's head is at because even though they're saying that there's going to be a Spider-Man 4, he wasn't going to come back unless it made sense. So
I
it's
thought
like
he was on for 3 more movies.
that's what I thought
he's
too. But
supposed to be on for 3 more movies, but I think
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
one of those things where
he wants to
he
get
was
past the character.
contracted for 3 and they have him like potentially for the 4, 5, 6, but they have to figure out, one, where is it going to fit? 2, does it make sense? And I think he has the option of walking away if it doesn't look good for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of get because like
Right.
right now, even
If it doesn't come back, I'd like to see Miles on the big screen.
amen to that. But that would also have to make sense too because just getting like springing in Miles, you know,
Well, with what they're doing with Loki, it's very possible to do with the
very
Yeah.
time.
possible,
Like
very possible.
it
But
would fit.
either way, like we have uh what is Thor fucking why can't Chris Hemsworth? He was saying, and he was talking to someone else about it, where they don't want Taika for the next one. They want to
Yeah.
go into
No.
a different direction with Thor.
Yeah.
So
That's
a
official.
lot of these things are happening where we got phase 4, and phase 4 was supposed to give us fresh new characters and this and that third. The trouble with that, which it did, the trouble with that is you're relying on the same formula for a fan base that has aged with the fandom and with this franchise. So now their expectations are going to be higher, and your audience is
I
no
think that's
longer
the
that
biggest problem.
because their audience is not them. We're their audience, but now your audience are ranging from like the 60s, 70s, let's say, in age to kids, and you're trying to catch everyone versus just make a good solid, start with everyone.
Well,
So now you have all these introductions, all these characters. People are, very wishy-washy. I love this, I hate this, I love this, I hate this, whatever the case is. And it's a whole thing.
I feel that I think people need to lower their expectations and just enjoy seeing what we love on the big screen. Instead, they expect it to mirror their expectations based on comic books, based on what they know of the characters, based on when we haven't gotten that at all in the MCU. We've gotten a new iteration and enjoy what we get. I think that this is.
Well, I mean, what I like what they're doing is that they're capturing the issues ahead of time before they spiral out of control. Unlike Warner Brothers, when DC just with the shit hit the fan, they just kept letting the shit hit the fan and was like, oh, we're gonna throw out a gem eventually. Because with the Daredevil show,
always go back to
I,
DC?
well, the example again goes back
Maybe
to the
Captain
Daredevil
Marvel
show.
go through some sort of physical transformation to bring it Margot Robbie to house.
No, I do not like that idea.
So here's some.
I'm totally against that idea.
So here's some things that are confirmed for with the Daredevil show. They're going to start producing the shows differently from how they were doing because they were treating them like movies because they admitted that they felt that was it Fury fell short. They feel that Ant-Man should have done better. This is literally what they've said. They felt like they're
Well,
trying
the thing
to.
is they're holding. My issue is I feel like they're holding expectations based on pre-pandemic numbers. When the world has changed, and you need to adapt to the changes of the world.
That's what they're doing. So it's smart that they're making these adaptations because again, like I said, they were just releasing a lot of content.
They're making a lot of adaptations in retrospect, but they should have been doing them as they were happening because if you're gonna say if you're gonna get a whole platform like Disney Plus and then give us the option to watch something in our homes versus in the theaters, and then we get used to that, and then you're like, oh, theaters are back, we want theaters, and then you start going, oh well there was too much wishy-washiness from where the direction of the movies.
I still want to see the movies in the theater. The Marvel movies,
but again,
go to the theater for.
But again,
but that's not the case with everyone.
But to bring it back, it's more than that. And when it comes to the terms of the storytelling that they were doing, there was a lot of stuff like there were the complaints on special effects, so stuff was being rushed out, and like special effects got worked on after shows have been out for a while. Like they went back to redo some of them. From what they said is that they're trying to fix that to give people more time to work on the product. They're going to change up the format, how they were delivering the shows, not by like, oh, we're not going to do a stream, more like we're going to treat it different how we were doing the movies, more of like we have a showrunner to run this show where they didn't have that. So there are different things they're putting in place to tell a more cohesive story. Like Echo, for example, is going to be the first Marvel show, one of the first ones where you don't need to go back and know too much about the character.
But most of these shows you don't. She-Hulk, you didn't need to. It doesn't. I don't understand why is that even a statement, because that's not an accurate statement. You didn't need to know anything about Miss Marvel either.
So this is true because in the same regard, it's one of those things where yes, Seabass, I get what you're saying, like because I put it in our group chat, is like, yes, it's the first one you don't need any context for, but almost every Marvel property has been something that you don't need context for because they're an interconnected world. They're going to reference what's happening outside of this world in some way, shape, or other. You know what I mean? Their biggest thing right now is we're trying to break away from the formula they had that should by no means have worked because every other place that tried it failed.
But I don't think it's more about the formula that they have because the formula is there. I feel like, and this is just again,
opinion. But the formula was there. It got them to where they were.
Let me finish. So you look at Thor Ragnarok. How did Thor do? Like if you were to rate right now Thor Ragnarok and why they're not returning for Taika is because again Thor didn't do that well.
I disagree.
No, you're talking about Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder didn't.
What Love and Thunder? Yeah, sorry, Love and Thunder. I meant Love and Thunder, not Ragnarok.
It didn't hold as well compared to Ragnarok. No, however, it was okay in its own right. There are certain things they could have done better. Right, there's certain things that
a dumpster fire.
But then it also
wasn't a dumpster fire.
But it also
was way better than Dark World.
But it was
that
one
was
of the
a
movies.
Dumpster fire.
But then it was one of the movies. If you look at it,
when you're comparing it to actual dumpster fire, that movie wasn't dumpster fire.
It's
Iron Man 3. That was trash, bro.
That's very
Come on
minuscule.
now.
That's very
What we're
minuscule details.
it's not
No, no, no.
minuscule.
It's
These are realistic things.
Val, you had a guy named God,
Right,
Gore
but
the
that's
God Butcher,
okay.
and you
All right.
butchered the entirety of
To
his
someone
story.
who doesn't know who Gore is, then it wouldn't matter to them.
Yeah, it could have mattered if you let him run.
I-
If they
so-
let him have a
let me-
good
let me-
run,
let me-
he
so-
would
so-
have been the big
I
bad that we
disagree.
needed, and we wouldn't have
Well,
been
let me-
worried about Kang right now.
Let me reel it back in because also too what they pointed out with Thor was
That's
that some
something
of
that okay.
Okay.
what they pointed out with Thor Love and Thunder was that some of the special effects were not great. The story that they advertised was completely different from what people got. So that was an example of one. Doctor Strange, although it gave us a lot of great moments, it was that movie that when you put up
Their
against
first
Spider
mistake with Doctor Strange was hiring Sam Raimi. That was
again,
a
I don't disagree with you.
I'll
again,
disagree with that one.
nothing against Sam Raimi, but if you put Sam Raimi
his
for
style is
something,
in there
it's
100%. That was
yeah,
that was where they went wrong.
and
It was a
like I
fan
said,
But that's the
movie.
I
same
have
thing
a
with what's his name, Gunn.
but
Exactly but Gunn also sticks to the
Gunn
process.
delivered.
It's a different process.
Yeah,
You cannot compare Sam Raimi's
So
corniness to Gunn. There's a
Sam Raimi's
formula there's a
Wow.
formula that
What is
works
this
with
argument
Gunn's
that we're having
Guardians.
tonight?
No, there's a formula that works with Gunn's Guardians and his characters 10 times better than what Sam Raimi
But
did
then
with that Doctor
he tried
Strange
to use
movie.
that
Are you
same
kidding me?
formula on
No.
Suicide Squad, and what happened?
No, there's a difference. The Suicide Squad was trash.
Exactly.
You
So
can't
it
compare DC
doesn't
to Marvel, period. Oh,
it doesn't matter. You're saying
all
the
right, we're not
formula.
gonna go.
We're going based on the
No,
guy.
I'm
The
talking
guy
about
is
Gunn. Gunn
The
with
guy is
Guardians
Raimi.
works. Gunn with Guardians works.
we're
Raimi
not
with
comparing
Doctor
with
Strange
DC
was
properties with
trash.
Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange gave us fun moments, but again, in terms of when they wanted this movie to be a horror movie, because that's what they advertised it to be. Sam Raimi, again, I'm gonna tell you right now, he is the guy that gives you silly horror, not horror, scary horror. You could see it in his movie From Hell. That wasn't scary. You could see it in Army of Darkness. You could see it in
It was The
you could
problem
see
with that
it
movie was
in
Raimi.
Evil Dead. And Raimi, he has a particular style of directing horror, which I don't think fit the movie. Now as far as it goes, directing like hero movie, he can do that because he did it with Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man with Toby. But
Which was good for its time, but if you
yeah,
go back, was trash.
again, it was like you said, good for its
The
time.
first two, you had to sit here and tell me that arguably the best superhero movie of all time, Spider-Man 2 with Toby, was trash?
Spider-Man
2 was
eh.
the best superhero movie of all time.
It
Are you
was
fucking
It
kidding me?
wasn't the
I
best
don't
one.
say it's the best one, but it's been argued that
No,
Spider-Man
it's
2 with
Spider-Man's
Doc Ock.
character. Spider-Man's character is one of the greatest characters in the history,
No,
right? Yes,
I've
that's
had
why
people.
people.
I've had people stand on the
Where's
hill
You're
that
gonna
that
tell me that?
yes,
yo.
yes. But
Why are
I
we
mean,
going to this?
we could
Why did
we
we
could
go
Right,
into this
because
rabbit hole?
Zemas wanted to go down the stupid rabbit hole in the beginning of
at
the
least
show
the whole thing.
instead of getting into our actual topic. That's why
We're
we're
getting
doing
into a
this.
topic now, but it's just again, I think just to end it, I think Marvel is in a way heading on a right track with just taking a little bit more time of reevaluating that stuff. That's what
I
they're
would
doing.
agree with that.
They should.
And I think that they were forced to rush a lot of stuff because of who was at the head of the table at the time at Disney. So at the time they were being pushed to put out a lot of content, and then because of that push, they didn't have time to review before it went out. So I think they're taking time out now before they lose the reins of that horse. So again, I commend them for that. And it's like, honestly, I think it's a good thing. There's rumor mills of stuff coming out, but at the same time, we already know that Kevin Feige is committed to make Avengers Secret War a bigger Avengers Assemble scene than we got in Endgame, and I would not be surprised.
That's ultimately what they need a Dave. They just need a Dave Filoni.
Definitely do. They should just hire me.
Because if you think about it this way, right? Kevin Feige basically like grabbed everything, scooped it, put it on his back, and was like, "I'm gonna give you greatness." We got stuff from the Russo brothers. We got literally the first few Avenger movies I hated. They were garbage. My by far favorite. the first and second Avengers movies were absolute.
The first was actually very
dog
good.
Shit.
Are you kidding
I
me?
disagree with you. The first one was great. The second one was
The
okay.
first one was just action. Lots of Easter eggs and lots of setting up.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to remove you from the chat from that. You have gotten your nerd card revoked.
Say garbage in the first Avengers in the same
Avengers were garbage.
Are you kidding me?
We didn't get a good Avengers movie until the Russo brothers did it, and it wasn't even the best Avengers movie before Endgame and Infinity War was Civil War, and that's not even an Avengers movie.
Ones. Civil War is one of the best ones.
Captain America. It's
Civil
Captain
War.
America.
Absolutely.
Civil War,
I'm not disagreeing with that. But to sit here and say the first Avengers movie was garbage, you're bugging, bro.
Bro.
Listen,
are you kidding? No.
It was not it. I've been on that hill since day one.
No, you're bugging. Are you serious? The first time you see them on, nah, man, you're bugging.
Don't go with nostalgia. You gotta look at it
without the nostalgia. Go back and watch that shit. It's legit. It's better than Age of Ultron.
Yes, it's better than Age of Ultron because Ultron is at the bottom of the barrel. Honestly, but that still doesn't negate that first one was trash.
Bro. It was not. You cannot put that movie in the trash category. I disagree. Trash. Iron Man 3.
So
trash.
You know
what? The first Hulk. Trash.
Just for your sake, we'll put it in recyclables.
Get out of here, bro.
It's still going somewhere, but it's not going on my shelf. It's not going on my shelf. I promise you that.
On that shelf. The first Avengers movie belongs on that shelf. You're bugging, bro.
You're remembering all the great moments it had.
I'm remembering the movie. I've seen it a lot. I've seen it many times.
That movie has a lot of moments that made us all feel hype and fuzzy.
Okay,
but it was not it, Chief.
Guys, I'm blinking twice right now. You have 41 minutes. Let's jump into Loki. Because we could be on the song.
You started this, Sebastian. Auntie, Uncle Loki, so I'm already.
Here you go. Help me. You go. Help me.
We're not fighting.
I'm blinking for help.
This is sibling love.
Fault, Sebastian.
This is 100% sibling love right now.
This is why I did this. My chaos is working. Anyway, let's get into the chaos.
Don't act like you're the mastermind of this. This happened because you started and you couldn't drive the train. Relax.
I drive the train off the tracks. Let's go. So we're getting back on the tracks. So let's get into Loki now, because Loki has been, oh my god, it's like you said, it's been carrying the Marvel Universe on its back with just.
I don't agree with that statement, but okay, it's very good though.
No, it's
all right. So we all agreed that the Mandalorian put the whole franchise, like Star Wars, on its back, right? Like that's what we were saying when the Mandalorian came out.
Yeah, I think yeah, absolutely.
What is that equivalent right now for Marvel that you think?
What is that equivalent for Marvel right now?
I think
what is the one thing keeping this franchise like up and running?
I think what it's doing right now is that it's helping the narrative that some of the stuff before, I'm not counting Miss Marvel because it didn't have anything to do with the multiverse. We're talking about with the multiverse saga, it's actually pushing the narrative a little further. And so we get this last episode, we're going to see where they land at, because Doctor Strange did an okay job. Spider-Man did a better job. I feel like Loki is just really deep dived into that whole multiverse angle. And we're getting that entertainment, and it's been something really to explain more of King's story than what we got with Ant-Man. Even though we got the man, and we've seen him disappear, but this has been it's been a fun ride with this show.
I honestly was not sure where this show was gonna go when they said they were going to do a season 2. Very happy that they got a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Saw episode 1 and was like, that's not where I thought this was going. Holy shit. And it's just gotten better and better each episode. I personally think it's one of the best like full-on shows that we've had. Like, granted, some of the shows I've liked and enjoyed for little bits and pieces here. I could always cherry pick things and I could always nitpick things. That's what we do. There's so much good on Loki right now. And I think it's because not only is it helping, like you said, Sebastian, to like build this narrative of the multiverse and of Kang and all of He Who Remains and all this other stuff, it also exists like the TVA in its own little pocket outside of time and space. So like, while this does have ties to the rest of like our franchise, it's so loosely connected. It's connected to more so to like the afterthought, the after images, like of what's happening, so that now it just has free reign to do what it wants and be this like nebulous thing. It's basically, it's the Filoni shows. Like the Filoni shows are like those things that happen just outside. They are still connected in some way, and we love them. But he has such a huge sandbox to play with. Loki has an even bigger sandbox to play with.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Look at us. We're back.
Look at us. Look at us.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Oh, wow.
No, I was just looking at the list of all the Marvel shows, and if I had to say, Loki is the best one. I don't know if it's carrying it on its back. I think they all add a specific thing to the entire franchise, unlike Mandalorian, where it far outranks Boba Fett, or it far outranks other shows. Like, what competes with Mandalorian would be Ahsoka and then Andor, right? For me, anyway. With that said, if you're going to compare it to the Star Wars verse, then Loki would be the Mandalorian of Marvel. If you're going to use that narrative, I would agree with it, but I can't say it's carrying it on its own.
Okay. I think it's carrying.
I can't agree with that.
I think it's carrying more to the multiverse saga than it is to the whole universe, because it's helping push the narrative.
Would it be carrying this phase or like the previous phase at least?
Well, see, the thing is, the phases, I don't know where this phase is going yet.
We're in phase 5 right now. Like, I didn't even realize we're already in phase 5, and I was like, phase 4 didn't feel like a cohesive thing.
I think phase 4 was completely just setting up or little pieces or setting things in place. And we don't know how it is going to.
But we're technically like, I know we're in the multiverse saga, like that's like the big narrative that we're pushing. But there's more than like that happening, because technically we still have the Celestials, and that's a whole. That's not even like a multiverse thing. That's literally like
that's just a universe thing,
right? You know what I mean? Like, so we have the Celestials, and we have what was the other fucking like we're going to at some point get what was the other fucking
Eternals?
No, it's fucking Dormammu with the fucking what's the girl Charlize Theron came in
at the end of
so we're gonna get that. Is that multiversal stuff too?
That's multiversal stuff.
It is multiversal. Okay.
I wasn't sure if like that was more magic mysticism stuff, because I know like even Shang-Chi is gonna like deal with that at some point too.
Yeah, because like with Shang-Chi, we don't know where they're going out with that, because they said his rings were contacting someone. We don't know if that's going to deal with cosmic stuff. We know that one of the things they wanted to touch up is cosmic stuff. That might be something that we see with the Fantastic Four, because they're still trying to cast for that. We know Blake.
It was street level stuff.
Yeah,
just street level. Spider-Man, Daredevil, She-Hulk, all of the.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to set up with the Daredevil show, because
isn't that the purpose of the actual smaller series, to do more street level things?
But is it all going to count towards the multiverse saga? Is the question.
I think it should at some point. I mean, when they try to bring it all together.
Well, here's the thing. So Miss Marvel was a street level show that we're going to see get into a cosmic level, because we don't know what's going to happen in Marvels. Second thing is that, they were supposed to set up a lot of street level stuff, which is like you got with Hawkeye. Then you had the cosmic stuff that they wanted to set up, which we got with the Eternals. We were supposed to get with Guardians. We don't know where they're going to go with that. And then the multiverse was supposed to be the bigger arching thing in terms of pushing the narrative for the multiverse, because phase 4, and just to answer that, phase 4 I think was more of a closing out of certain stories that we didn't get to close out in the before, like with Hawkeye, with him saying his goodbyes and everything, and also introducing next level characters and passing of the batons, because Falcon really got his passing of the baton of baton of being
West Coast Avengers and the
and the Thunderbolts split like and I think they're
I don't think we need to focus about do we need to focus on the passing of the baton to anything else? I think
that was the phase 4. That was what we saw. This is why now in phase 5, that's why some people like, where are we really going? There's just so many stories. That's why I was like, with Loki, in terms of carrying the multiverse saga, it's what it's carrying. And then there's already talks that Owen Wilson, Miss Minutes are supposed to appear in the Deadpool 3 movie, and Deadpool 3 again,
well, that's going to be multiversal as well, because we're going to see so many different tie-ins, and the fact that
I'm still kind of mad that Deadpool wasn't the reason why we got the multiverse saga, because Deadpool would have been the easiest play, and I've been saying it for fucking years.
Well, should I spoil? So should I just
No.
Okay, so I'll leave it alone. But there's a lot of stuff that they said that is potentials with the Deadpool movie.
No,
but we'll leave it at that.
How I leave it alone, but let me still talk about it.
There's a lot of stuff with the Deadpool.
I don't want to. I don't want you to spoil it. Thank you.
But let's get back to Loki. So Loki, Yo, moving on to you came back with attitude.
I think what happens is the dynamic is like Seabass needs a buffer, and like Val just doesn't want to deal with the bullshit. So it's me left to either help Seabass or argue with Val or help Val. And Tone is the ultimate buffer for all that. And Tone isn't here. Thanks a lot, Tone.
What's that Tone's going? It's a chaos.
I'm not being aggressive. I'm just saying I'm not going to spoil it, but then you want to spoil it.
Is Tone the adult?
You can't set it up that way. I don't want it to be spoiled.
I think Tone's the adult of the group.
So with Loki, it's pretty interesting because a lot of people are calling, like, they're loving Renslayer's character this season. Like Renslayer, like a lot of people are calling, like, yo, is she the ultimate villain in this series? She
technically is.
She's a great, for me, great villain. I hate her though. Like she's just a character to hate. Like you're just like, ugh.
Yeah. Like I don't understand her real motivation. Like what was the point? Blind devotion for no like you don't know why. You don't know. I don't get it.
I think she's so like obsessed with this notion that the TVA and what it's like goal that she was presented with is like pure, and like she wants that back because she likes the idea of that order, and she has right now the Lokis and all these other people bring in too much chaos, so she is full on like going.
You forget that. Go ahead. She was also revealed that she was with He Who Remains, and she was, which again ties back to the comics.
We didn't forget. And your headset is coming in and out.
I was gonna get to that, but essentially, like, so even before we get the notion that He Who Remains and her were working in tandem together, you know, and Miss Minutes dropped that bomb, right? Her relentless pursuit of like having this timeline reset and like
that's my issue with her though. Like I just feel like what's the why there?
I think now it's more about she's the one in the driver's seat. There's no one that's there in the driver's seat.
I don't know. It's a driver's seat thing. I honestly, genuinely think it's a sense like she was head bitch in charge, and then now she's not. And everyone's looking at her like, yo, you were wrong. There's lives. There's things happening. So now she's like, I'm going to prove to you why you guys are wrong and I'm right. And I feel like we're seeing her unravel more than anything. She's trying really hard to cling to that power.
Taking out that whole crew in the
yes,
room?
Bro.
I'm like, no, she did not.
Bro.
You just squashed this bitch from Game of Thrones.
First of all, I want to say that's probably the most squeamish that any Marvel thing has ever made me feel.
They didn't even need to show
it. And they didn't even show it. Bro, that felt like watching Saw.
Yeah.
It was the thought that they left your imagination.
Damn. Because we know what that box does. We see
Yo, for real.
Right? And you just did it to a group of people, bro.
Yo,
with
wild.
no remorse. And Miss Minutes, bitch ass, yo, she is evil.
Time out. Renslayer is a villain. Miss Minutes is the villain of villains.
She's the devil, bro.
Bro, I don't want to hear no arguments against it. Miss Minutes is a certified fucking villain. She, like, you want to talk obsession? Renslayer's obsessing over like this perfection of He Who Remains and the
power.
Control and how he had like the timeline. Miss Minutes is just straight up in love. Like, she is trying to be the center of like He Who Remains his life, and like doesn't want. Bro,
when they were flirting, and then as soon as she said a partnership, she was like, "Yes, that's my way in there."
Yo,
she was like, "And you know what she said? That's right." And then flip the script, talking about why
she's a fucking she's a petty bitch. She's a real petty bitch, and I hate it. Miss Minutes is every like 80s, 90s like thriller, like where what was that movie, Fatal Attraction, where she had the bro,
Miss Minutes, that bitch.
Imagine if she was able to get a body like Ultron's.
No, I don't know. She would be a problem.
Oh no,
because she's an AI.
Yeah, it's a good thing she don't got a body. But what if? Hold on. What if another variant of Kang has his own version of Miss Minutes in an actual droid body?
I was gonna say, what if there's a version of Ultron who's like, I would love to have an AI like version of myself.
Jocasta. In the comic books, you know who Jocasta is, right?
Jocasta was the wife
droid.
Android.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Val. Go ahead.
No, I know you want
to. No, go ahead. No, you got it. You got it.
One of y'all motherfuckers better tell me something.
In the, I believe it's with Ant-Man or Fantastic Four. I can't recall which title it was under, but Jocasta's an android that she's very much like Vision was for. It was Ant-Man, I think. Was it?
It was Ant-Man. Hank Pym was responsible for building them all in the comics.
And she's also, I think, has the personality from Janet, like he derived it from Janet or something to that effect, but she had her own sentience. She was very much, she's an android, like a better version of Ultron, a better version of Vision, a better version of it all, and she's Jocasta. I can see that. Yeah,
I would love to see that.
I'm trying to remember who made her. I gotta go back and
I say that with a very like there's a asterisk next to it. Law is like, oh, that sounds crazy. Show me that shit. But then I'm like, we don't need Miss Minutes any more crazy and powerful than she is. Because like
Jocasta's AI though does exist in the MCU because when Tony Stark was replacing Jarvis and he got Friday.
But you see Jocasta's name on one of those discs.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm sending you a fandom link and so you can see who Jocasta is.
So yeah, that's an evil tag team, Miss Minutes and Renslayer, and it's just funny how you see her unraveling. For me, it's like because she now knows that she was there with He Who Remains. It's like, yeah, she wants to return the TVA back to what it was before because that's what she knew. But also now, not only would she be in charge, she'll be the head in charge with no one above her, like He Who Remains, since she knows the truth. So remember, he erased her memories. He was like, he told Miss Minutes, protocol, whatever. And
because I think
he did Order 6060s, motherfuckers.
Yes, yo, for real. For real.
He was like, yeah, don't worry, I'll catch up with you.
The He Who Remains at the end of time that we saw in season 1. This is a variant of him, but are they trying to portray it like this is the same one and it's just a constant loop of these two variants?
That's what it seems like. However, when you look at what the actual actions of what's happening here, it's Loki who's putting everyone in place to create the TVA, and maybe he finds a He Who Remains variant to actually be He Who Remains.
I don't,
because it's all piecing the way the loop is happening, it's more like Loki is creating because
True.
all of them got
We
put back into their timeline.
Well, we also don't know if so. Okay, we have the branching paths right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that if putting He Who Remains back in his seat will fix any of that.
No,
Also,
but we know that TVA, the thing is why they created this. Here's my problem with understanding the concept of the show is the fact that that universe that Sylvie was in unraveled and everything unraveling at the end. That's where the confusion for me came, because if you no longer have the TVA, all these splintered universes happen, and it's a multiversal world and everything goes the way it's
Right.
supposed to, right? However, why are they unraveling now unless there's someone else at play cutting out these timelines?
I don't know that it's that. I think it's something where the machine that they have that helps like guide everything,
Mm-hmm.
that over looping feed or the overloading that they have cannot like make the threads like sustainable anymore. So it's just shooting out.
But it blew up. It blew up. It's
right.
gone. The loom blew up. First of all, wait, can I rewind for a second? I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Timely's demise in stepping out like it's time to be a hero, and he runs out and it's like, what?
Oh man, I wasn't expecting that. It became
spaghetti. I was like, what the
fuck? that was a what the fuck moment on the show.
It was definitely.
There's so many like
you see
good
the
moments.
Jaw coming out. It was so good and so sick, and I was like, I was not expecting that.
There's so many moments because like even like having the oh man, I don't even know where to start. Are we doing everything up until now? Essentially,
I think I mean, we haven't even gotten into it. I think also I have to bring up this guy. What's Kang's real name? Jonathan Majors. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I just thought, it came to me.
When you said real name, I was like Franklin Richards.
No, Jonathan. No.
Wrong
His
Richards.
portrayal of Victor Timely. He literally is a completely, from what we've seen as He Who Remains, what we've seen in the Ant-Man movie, and what we see with Timely, literally a different version and the exact same character. Like, I freaking love him, and I really, really hope they stick to him being Kang. I don't want them to change it. I don't give a fuck what happened in his personal life, whether it's true or not. I honestly want him to keep his job. Please let him continue being Kang.
Well, hopefully he didn't do all that fuck shit that he was doing, because
well,
it apparently depends on what it is.
Well, apparently it's like they're not dropping the charges because what's her face disappeared. She went to like England or whatever. She dropped the charges, but if it seems like it's whoever's like still pushing for the case is not dropping the charges. Like his lawyers presented a lot, but it's like they don't know what's going to happen with the whole now case being pushed to go to trial. But
they fucking with his money, bro, and I don't think it's fair.
Well, I mean, his agency has already walked away from him, and that's why they're like,
Here's, right now. Okay, all right. I'm not saying if he did it, I'm not saying it's right, but okay, we're gonna talk about reality, right? There are politicians, crooked cops. There are a bunch of people living a daily life doing the exact same shit, and you don't see them losing their job.
Well, here's the other thing too: is like if they're forced that they have to replace him, I know that eventually they have to bring in Doctor Doom, but I feel like if you're gonna replace him, there's the actor that was in Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think would be a good replacement because you could write in that he's a variant. There's a lot of the one that played a High Evolutionary.
No,
but I know they're not gonna recast
him. No. Keep him as High Evolutionary, please.
Yeah, he was a great High Evolutionary. Yeah, in fact, you can bring variants of High Evolutionary in. And I mean, you can bring variants of every villain we've seen in the MCU at this point, and kind of dig into that.
The only recast that I'm like okay with is the dude that plays Black Manta in Aquaman.
Okay.
We're not talking about Aquaman.
Visually,
Thank you, Val.
it
But
worked.
he can act too. He's
Yeah,
really
he
Yeah.
can.
good.
I
And
just
it's
don't
just
know if
because
it'll be
he's
the
supposed to
same
be,
level of Jonathan. That's why.
but also too, he's playing Wonder Man, and his show just got canceled, so we don't know if he's going to continue to play Wonder Man or if he's going to play a
I don't
character
know
in the
how much we
MCU.
needed Wonder Man in the first
We
place.
don't need Wonder
Well,
Man. They
I
can
think
kiss
what
my
they
ass with
wanted,
that.
I think what they wanted to do because Wonder Man has ties to Wanda, and this can explain the birth of the kids. To try to separate that because of her relationship with Wonder Man.
Isn't Wonder Man the guy that she killed?
He was the guy whose conscience, I believe, was transferred into the Vision
No.
because he was,
What?
I believe he was like, that's how it worked with him, was that he was originally the brother of the Grim Reaper. He was put on the Avengers. He was a celebrity, but
Yeah.
ultimately he was like a double agent, but then turned around and was like, no, I'm a hero. Eventually he was one of the characters that died in the Avengers.
I
And
believe she killed him. She killed
it might have,
somebody.
but they had a relationship in the comics.
She
That's
had a
like
relationship.
saying there's an
She killed.
island in the
She killed.
Caribbean. She killed
She
No,
so
when
many
she went
goddamn
she
people.
killed
psycho,
Hawkeye.
when she
She
went
killed Hawkeye.
psycho and they were
No,
gonna kill her before she started House of M, she killed,
she didn't
I
kill him.
believe
No,
it
no,
was
she
Wonder
killed him.
Man.
No, she killed him. No, she didn't kill Wonder Man because he was already dead. She killed Hawkeye. She killed Vision. She killed Jack of Hearts. She killed Ant-Man Scott Lang because Jack of Hearts was already dead. She reanimated him and blew him up, and then he killed Scott. With that explosions, killed Scott Lang. So those were the four I know from because that was an Avengers disassembled.
Hawkeye, Vision, and Ant-Man before the
Yep.
events of House of M. Okay.
Yep.
She didn't kill him. All right.
Yeah, he died some other way. I forget how because it was so long ago. It was like 90s,
It's been yeah,
and
it's been a long time.
but no, I mean with this the product placement has been funny. You have
Product
Sylvie working
placement? What
at
do you mean?
the McDonald's product placement with Sylvie working at McDonald's.
Okay. I don't understand the significance.
So
Let him cook.
Okay.
So it's just funny, like when you see, like when you mention product placements, like if you have like James Bond driving a particular car, that's that car brand, they're having it all in your face. In like, Heineken was there in the James Bond movie because they were like he was drinking a Heineken. It's like, when you start to see like, the everyday stuff, you definitely know McDonald's paid for that advertisement because they've done it in other movies before. And it's just funny how it's just predominant, but it's like it's the
Like
old
the
school,
jet ski with Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo is
yeah.
like you have to pay to get every stuff in.
But it's just funny. It's like they went the old 80s classic McDonald's. I was like, "Oh, that's when McDonald's was fun and actually had your, enjoy your childhood and Happy Meal and didn't look like a cold corporation outside with these gray buildings now." Because they were all colorful outside. But I just thought it was funny they have her working at a McDonald's.
Okay.
I was trying to find how you tangented to this point and the relevancy of it. I think
Well,
Thank
it's
you,
just
Law.
funny because like Sylvie at this point, she's killed He Who Remains. She ends
Right.
up
And
on
she's
this
just
planet.
trying to live a normal life.
Yeah, which
And
it was dope. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, she was like, she goes into McDonald's, and it's like, damn, she really got the Happy Meal. She was like there for life. But it's like I thought it was cool. I mean, honestly, I thought it was cool. It was pretty dope.
listen, she basically just pulled a Thanos. She was like, "Yo, I did my thing. I'm gonna
now I'm gonna
sit,
retire
chill. I'm retired. I'm gonna call it a day."
and get a
I
job.
honestly think she just picked a random branch to go to. It was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
McDonald's." She was like, "Oh, cool, food. Bet. Let me have it all." And then she was like, "Oh, this is great. I'm gonna fucking stay."
Yeah.
Didn't really read too much into it.
I didn't either. I was just trying to understand
My
the
whole
well,
thing
it's pro
was
for me. So for me, it's like this. Like if you really think about it, she was taken away as a kid and was trying to be. They were trying to get her out of existence. For most people in like the 80s and everything, as a kid, as a teenager, some of them will say that their first job was probably working at McDonald's. So this was technically, her just living a comfortable life, and that's her first job. She's working there, after killing He Who Remains. And I also thought it was cool that, she's the type of person to go in a record shop and just chill and just relax, just listen to music. She's just this whole chill personality. And I was like, oh, this is a nice side of Sylvie. It gives more layer for me for the character, and it's like now she has something even more to fight for.
I loved her in the first one. I was genuinely curious to see if we were even going to see her and how we would see her in this series. And the fact that we are, great. I like her motivations of like, oh, it's on site. That was all I needed. She was like, oh, he's back. Fuck it. It's on site, like Black Air Force energy. And I'm like, that's why you my girl.
But it's
fam.
like
I
this.
love you.
But it's like this. In the first season, she was out for vengeance. So it's like, what do you give a character who has accomplished her vengeance, has accomplished her goal in the second season? She's now on a quest for peace for herself.
Yeah. And right now, everything in its power is working against her peace. And I can respect that. She just wants her peace of mind, and people are fucking with that peace.
Do you mind if I switch gears real quick? I want to talk about Ouroboros.
Yo,
Data is my guy.
I fucking love him. He's fucking I
love him so much.
The way they introduced him is probably my favorite introduction of a character so far.
Data.
He's so fun. I love him so much. And he's so good. Like he's so genuinely just good at what he does.
He's like, you read my book? He's like, would you mind signing it?
I'm loving the fact that this actor has returned more on the big screen, because again, he was in the movie with Michelle Yeoh, perfect in that movie, did a great job as the husband and is like playing multiple personalities, which is a testament to his skill. And now see him as Ouroboros, I just like the way he's like, you said, sign my book, and then he's like, then when stuff happens in the past and then it like changes his mind and he's remembered, as like he is just so spot on with this character. It's just it's freaking crazy.
I talked to your friend. I guess that happened. Oh, is that happening? Like,
it just happened.
It's crazy. I love him to death.
No, and then when he goes back in time in the last episode and Loki finds him and he's telling him, well, you're time slipping, you need to learn to control it. When he learns how to make a temp pad, he finds Loki and he comes out like everything is fine. Oh, I lost my job, my wife left me. And he's like, and everything's just great because he's so invested.
He was like, I just saw you. He was like, well, it's been a long 18 months. 18 months. Yo.
I loved him so much.
My favorite part is when he was trying to buy his book from the bookstore.
No, that's hilarious.
I was like, respect the hustle. Respect that hustle, bro.
No, and he's like, it's fiction. I should have a book around here somewhere. Oh, it's everywhere.
Yo, I love that. It's
so good. I love him.
He's easily become a new favorite character in the MCU. It's like that's one of the things you get all these fun characters.
I would argue MCU favorite character, show for sure, but MCU character, he's one of my favorite MCU characters for sure.
Yeah. I love him so much.
And I love that we have a nickname for him, Obi, so they don't even call him Ouroboros, so it says Obi. It's like, man. And then it's like the way he was like telling Mobius when he was supposed to go out there to where the loom was at, and how like his skin will melt and everything. Like, oh, but your skin might melt, and all like very like nonchalant, like it's like an like it
might happen, but it won't happen. But it might happen. And he's just like, that's not comforting. Like, what are we doing right now?
And then what's his face? The damn, I want to say Kevin, but it's not Kevin. It's the guy who works upstairs.
K2? Is it K2?
Is it K2? No. I forget. But anyway, when he meets Ouroboros, with asking him to sign his book, it's just funny how
you read my book? That's that scene alone. And he was so excited that someone read it, and he's like, well, I memorized it. It's just so good.
But it's funny though, because that same character too, when they showed his alternate version, he was escaping from Alcatraz.
That's an interesting turn of events for him. I was not expecting
Casey.
that at all.
I was somehow close with K2.
Casey is right, yes.
With Casey, yeah.
Yeah, that Casey, it was just funny. He's this meek, quiet guy, but then they show him he's escaping from Alcatraz with two other people. I was like, wait, why are you in Alcatraz? Casey.
He's like, Casey, your name's Casey? I thought your name was Frank. Bro.
I would say like how they're doing this show where it's so self-contained, but it still has a lot of heavy implications and ramifications of things, because you figure like
I'm gonna go back and rewatch because I know there's things I didn't get the first time around.
There's a lot of things that you missed.
But like I would say outside of somebody like Watu, somebody like the one above all, is that the guy's name who's the like head of Marvel? He's the god of Marvel, essentially. The cases like there's a few beings that would know what's happening at the TVA right now and is all knowing, omniscient of
like
this.
The living tribunal.
The living tribunal would know, like that kind of thing.
Eternity.
Right. Everyone else has no idea what's happening, but there's so many things, be it Kang, be it the timeline branches, be it like Loki's new power. We haven't even tapped Loki's new power because that whole beginning of
he's evolved.
What was it?
When he was chasing this guy in the other with the wolf thing with the at the movie theater that he's premiering his show, and you see evil Loki at work with the shadows, and you see him like he was a G. I was like, yes, that's the Loki I want to see. I was excited.
I'll do you
about
one
that.
better. When he did the interrogation with him, I was like, yo, Loki, my
he
man.
Was like, is that how it works? Oh, okay.
Yo,
I
think
we got a lot of
Loki.
I was happy that we got some classic manipulative Loki, right?
Yeah.
Not evil. I wouldn't say evil, but like that badass, you know, and
Absolutely.
You see him walking and you see his swag a little bit when he was in the suit and he was chasing down this dude. I loved that. It was like, yes.
It's funny that Tom originally auditioned for Thor and they gave him the part of Loki, and how he's been running with this character and how he's able to, like, I don't want to say change up, but he's able to change up this character where you feel the emotion. It's like he's not this one-sided villain that we saw in the beginning. He is this misunderstood character that's just been growing.
I liked Loki.
I've always liked him.
I've always liked him.
You grow to love him more.
I love him in this show. Like 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 Loki was one of those characters where I was like, I like him well enough. He's cool, but I wasn't like, oh man, he's my favorite MCU character.
Like, but then there's the moments that you get with it. Like when he was doing the whole thing, when they were supposed to take him out the timeline when he was to fix his time sickness, and then you're like, oh, who hit him with the baton?
He hit
and
himself.
Then he realized that, oh wait, this is the moment. This moment has to happen, and it's like you're seeing kind of like this realization of Detective Loki coming at it, like he's just like really thinking about things, and it's like, oh, this is supposed to happen. Like when he came to the realization of his new powers when stuff was happening, it's like this is just again an evolution of a character that it's just, I want to say, I want to use the word beautiful. It's been a beautiful evolution because it's just dope, and I know it must be dope for Tom to take this character through his fingers.
What's ironic is that this is a version of Loki that happens after Avengers 1. It isn't even the one that we grew to love throughout the MCU.
Right. Who kind of got some level of redemption. Like,
right.
Even
especially
though
in
all his trickery, all his bullshit, all his little, flipping sides of the case, at some level of like redemption.
I loved him in Ragnarok. And then when they were
I still, it was like I like him and I appreciate his character growth throughout like that. But that first episode when Mobius sits him in the chair and shows him everything and he starts crying, I was like, I've never loved this character more. Like you actually see him go, oh, I've been an asshole my whole life. Like I'm not like.
I think you see that in Ragnarok too when he decides to help. When he like.
I think there's a sense of it, but I don't know that it's as hard hitting as Loki was, because I think for Loki he has the time to look back and look at like the aftermath of everything, like what his effects like did to other people.
So for the time being, I think because we didn't get to show Loki yet, his death hit hard because we saw it through Thor. because there was finally the brothers were coming together. And we felt like that was taken from us when Thanos snapped his neck, and we're like, oh, this is the last time that we see Tom, and like how they're going to do a Loki show. Now that we got the Loki show, and going back to your point, him being shown everything from his date of birth to his death, and then him crying about that, that even made you even feel even more for the character.
Like you see him how he was with Frida, and like
he loves
Frida, like he's a mama's boy, but like he saw how much it broke her heart that he never was the kid that she knew he could be.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw that and was just like, oh fuck. And I think that weighed more because of him being able to see that versus this version of Loki that we saw like before that. His mother died and he handled it way differently than, you know, oh, like I'm angry, I'm upset, whatever the case is. He was like, I'm gonna, you know, keep doing my thing. I'm gonna mask the guilt. I'm gonna fake my death again. All this other shit. You know what I mean?
I think what a lot of people are waiting now is because we've gotten this Loki through the show Loki. I think a lot of people are waiting now is for a reunion between him and Thor. Because people want that right now. They want to see Thor.
I would love to see that, and I mean, it'd be interesting to see if we can bring Thor in here and help him. Not that he needs to help him, but at least get a sense to see him because he's on his own mission. But maybe doing that redemption because in this Loki tried to blow up fucking New York. That's the last time he saw his brother. He didn't experience anything else in between that we all know.
He was here with the Chitauri trying to take over and like do a whole thing. Yeah.
But after him seeing all the events after, because he's been given those events.
Yeah, he's been given the events like of like Endgame.
He
and
saw
everything.
him and his brother coming together.
Right, he's seen it, but he's also didn't live it. Like there's a difference from seeing it on yourself on television, but you living that emotion is very different. That's like
I think it would be nice, like at the end of all this, if they do bring in Thor as a sense of closure, because I don't even think that Thor got proper closure for Loki.
Yeah.
So having some version of him and some version of him of Loki and of Thor, whether that be, you know, the Loki in the show and the Thor from the movie or vice versa, some other combination of it, I think it would be nice to like have them embrace, have them come together, but not rely on Thor to help him with this situation.
Right.
I don't want that. I don't want, but I would want to see him see his brother again, be brothers, and like have that love and just be like, yo.
And I think Loki needs that redemption as well as the chance for Thor to see his brother again. Like I would like to see that connection, that relationship, not that I want it tied into the story itself.
It all shows Thor, like while Thor always knew in his heart like his brother could be a hero, and he saw that final moment for him, he was being heroic. He sees the path that if he would have done this, he could have done so much more. And now he's trying. It's not him fighting for a world, a couple. He's fighting for timeline, universes.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So like that would weigh a lot on Thor, and I think it would be a very.
I have a question for you guys. If you were in this position where, let's say you are the He Who Remains, would you have created a TVA for one sacred timeline and killed off all these extra people? Do you see morality in it, or just letting it naturally progress as it should?
I think so. If I had to run it, and I guess it's really depending on what type of war. I mean, for me, it'd be like, okay, we need to manage the timelines, but also monitor the multiple versions of myself to make sure that something like that doesn't happen again. It's making sure
so
that
you would see a value in keeping some form of TVA with one sacred timeline or several.
I mean, if I have to take a variant of myself out that's going to cause chaos for various different universes, then by all means, I'll take out my variant. But I guess it was like, to police it where nothing is going wrong, where it's going to cause a whole multiversal shift that would cause the multiverse to collapse on itself. Because I believe it's like if you're trying to manage it to be one, eventually the branches are going to break out. They're going to want to break out. So how do
So
you
what do you
do that?
mean?
So his reasoning is really what it boils down to, because his reasoning is, I'm doing this for what he believes is a greater good, so that the ones who he fought against in the big multiversal war and that he has locked away in wherever that we saw in Ant-Man and Quantumania, they can't come.
Right.
They're stuck wherever they are or whatever the case is. And we don't get Kang because Kang is
I
stuck
thought
where
the
he is.
I thought the point of TVA was to prevent incursions.
It
Is
was
that not it?
that was the point of the
That's
TVA.
right.
But
But
because the
by
TVA,
not having incursions, you also don't get more what you call it. You don't get more than one Kang showing up.
Hmm.
and
But we
his
know
whole
they
thing was,
exist now.
Mm-hmm.
We know there's
yeah,
a reality where they are here. There's no way to cut that off now unless you are eliminating these branches. So do you kill all these people on these branches?
I mean,
and
for him, it seemed like a necessary evil to do, because the you're thinking of it this way: like each branch contains one He Who Remains Kang or whatever variant, right?
Hmm.
And there's multiple. We saw how many were in that
Yeah.
arena essentially. Now they have accounts of Kangs. They are all together. Like, oh fuck it, like they exist outside somewhere. So as many incursions that he's trying to stop and as many timelines he's trying to like prune and branches and whatever, like, is it worth it?
I think the council happened after He Who Remains dies, because because
Yeah.
again, one of the things about himself is because he's like, after he gave that warning, like, you thought I was bad, wait till you meet the other me's, is because there are versions of him that want power. And that's the ones that ultimately, like, Cain the Conqueror, there's a reason why he has that name, Cain the Conqueror. You got Roma Tut, who decided to go back and rule all of Egypt. Each one that we saw in the Ant-Man movie, that was predominantly shown, not all the ones that they're showing in the whole thing, the
The
ones that were
four,
predominantly shown,
yeah.
each one has had a reason
Those
that
are the
they were
more
considered a
recent.
villain. Like the
Mhm.
Scarlet
Yeah.
Centurion, they were all considered villains because of their way of, they all were corrupted by some form of, I want power. That's
Hmm.
what Kang the Conqueror is. He wants power. Even Iron Lad, who was a King variant, a
Mm.
younger version, was trying to fight himself. But eventually he, has to grow up to be a king. And it's like, it's sad. Like, you're seeing yourself, like, eventually, like, are you going to be this power hungry person, or someone like, Victor Timely didn't seem like the person who was hungry for power, but he was a swindler. He did what he needed to do to
Mhm.
swindle people to get ahead. And maybe that's just something that's written in his DNA, because who knows if he had gotten, like, who knows what Victor Timely would have done is if he became the head of the TVA.
Nah, him dying was mad funny, bro.
It was fucking hilarious.
I was not expecting that. That shit had me. I was like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. And I rewound it
But I think there's
to
well,
watch it again.
but I think what we're seeing is that even though He Who Remains had a plan, and that this was probably something he plans to probably be in a loop, we're probably seeing stuff, that little small hints that his plan is being unraveled, like from when Scarlet Witch woke up with her powers, and became the Scarlet Witch. And it's funny because people talk about the theory, if you time the shows, that when there's like something goes off, like he picks that up when he is about to die. You got the fact that Loki's discovering his new power. These are probably things he didn't account for, because again, when you have these multiple, going back to with these multiple timelines, they're going to want to live and find out a way for themselves to live. And it's eventually going to branch out. You can't control it. So this whole form of control eventually is going to break loose.
Okay.
I'm very curious to see what the rest of the series provides us and like what
Oh,
it's gonna mean for everything. Because by all means, they could do a season 3, and I'd be
I'd
fucking
be here for
just
it.
as
Be
I'd
here
be
for it.
just
Do you
as
guys
excited
know how
for it.
many episodes we're anticipating to get?
I
I
Next week,
think
I
we're
believe
at
think
what,
this week
five,
is the last.
six? Today is six, right?
Yeah, this week is the last episode, and There are rumors. There are a reason why this week is the last episode because the Marvels come out and it's probably going to link some form of way.
What? Wait, this week's the last episode. That's it. We're only getting 6.
Yep.
Yeah, just like last season, 6
This is
episodes.
bullshit.
But
What are you gonna do in this Nah, man.
but in December, What If is going to start.
Is it? Yay! Okay, I'm excited for that. All right.
So now we get to see variant realities.
I thought we would get more episodes in 6. I didn't realize because I literally watched the last 3 this weekend. Because I was behind.
No, that's this episode, and I think it's done on purpose because the Marvels come out this week.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think something, and again, this has been pushing the narrative of the multiverse saga. So, hoping that we're all keeping our fingers crossed for an end credit scene because we didn't really get one with Fury, but yeah, we're hoping this pushes things further. And the Marvels. So next week we're going to be talking about the final of Loki and the Marvels. That's going to be the whole episode next week.
Mm-hmm. And then in 2 weeks for Gen V, I believe.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about
I have to binge that. I'm so behind on that. Did you guys watch Attack on Titan?
I have not.
Okay.
I want to just wait for like it to be done.
It's done.
Yeah, it's done.
That's done.
That's the last episode.
That is the last episode.
Yes, it's done. And
it's like this is not part 2.
No, it's done. I will say this, and I want to talk more when Tone's here about that one. But seeing it animated, seeing it play out, I liked better than reading it.
Yeah, I was gonna
when
say
I
that.
read the manga, I was disappointed initially, and I was like, "That's it, okay." But seeing the way it played out, it hit differently, and I enjoyed it.
I gotta say, I was a little teary-eyed because it was like we're at the end of a long ride that we enjoyed, and
I mean, I remember back in the day, Seabass, with you reading the mangas that when we worked together, and you and Brian talking about the books and everything, and I'm like, I ain't reading that shit. I was talking that shit until the first season came out, and then we had to wait years for the second season. But definitely worth the watch. I'm glad I invested some time into it.
Yeah, it's an anime I can say that has a strong opening, and I'm very happy with the way it ended. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
With where that show starts and where it ends up, you don't anticipate that switch up in the between those.
You really don't. You don't. But it's a pleasant switch up because I feel, without trying to spoil, it's a very evolved story because in the beginning, what we thought and anticipated where it was going to go, it keeps you going because it keeps you surprised.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
You don't expect it. Yeah.
And the fact that I read it, albeit quite a bit ago, it was quite a while ago, and what I expected to come out of it, I thought I'd be, I liked it better seeing it in animation than I did reading it in the mangas. That I would say. Honestly, that's not something that I would say often.
And honestly, that ending made me appreciate every single character's arc, no matter who they were in the series. It made me appreciate every single character more.
Before I watched this last episode, I went back and watched the previous one just to give me a recap in my mind, and I relived Hanji.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, bro, I would not do that to myself.
Oh my god!
Have the tissues because there are some moments where you're like it hits you with feels because it's like, again, because there was so Attack on Titan was funny. There's so much invested. Yeah,
I'll watch it. I'll watch it before the weekend. I honestly wasn't sure if it was like
this is it,
and then
last.
I watched it yesterday. That's it.
How long's the episode?
Oh, it's long.
It's
like
4
an hour
of it.
Yeah,
so
it's like an hour 40 minutes, like an hour 30 minutes, something like that.
I don't know how long it is actually, but there's 4 parts in it, so I didn't check the timing of it.
It's like a mini movie. And it's like a mini movie. And
worth a watch.
Okay.
I'll
have something to watch on the flight tomorrow.
There's a lot of moments. There's a lot of beautiful animation, and
that I will say, one of the very few animes that can show you more than you anticipated. They just do very well with that show. They always have, actually.
And there's a lot of moments in this episode, this last final episode.
So many. I'm not even. All right, let's pull away from it. Let's pull away.
We gotta wrap up
because I'll keep going, but
yeah. So
we'll talk when you watch.
Thank you guys for being here with us. It was a very fun and wild show. Val, welcome back, coming in hot today.
I know y'all missed my energy. I know y'all missed it.
Oh, listen, I can argue with you all day. Doesn't take any away any.
I know I love y'all.
That's gonna be a segment. That's gonna be the Law and Val argue segment. There we go. Law and
Val. That's not a segment. I was about to say that's not a segment because we don't argue often. We usually
exactly.
I was waiting for you guys to start throwing Tims at each other.
You ain't shit.
Yo, that's disrespectful.
You ain't shit. Don't disrespect my New York, bro. Don't disrespect my New York.
Yes, we're back next week. We're talking the season finale of Loki. Hopefully not the series finale because I really want more. And we are talking the Marvels, which fingers crossed, man.
I'm trying to see it this weekend. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it. If I can't watch, I probably won't join.
I'll probably end up watching it on Monday when I get back. Like I'll fly in or maybe early
trying
Tuesday.
To make time on Saturday. It's just with the new area, I don't know exactly where.
Gotcha.
All right. Google. Yeah. Hey guys, it's been a good episode. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you go back and watch it, rewatch it, share it, and I'm gonna play that beautiful Bing music in 3, 2,
bye.